Judgment in the National Key Points List case has been handed down at the South Gauteng High Court, which has given Police Minister Nkosinathi Nhleko 30 days to hand over the National Key Points List to the Right2Know Campaign and SA History Archive. The two organizations went to court to get access to the list information, which they believe is in the public's interest. Kathleen Kennedy, South African History Archive Director, joins me live now in studio. Thank you so much for your time this evening. How do you feel?
Great. We didn't expect a judgment to come through so quickly, so we were caught on the hop a little when we received notification, but we're really pleased with the judgment, and I think the fact that it came through so quickly actually speaks well for our case.
Indeed. Are you, though, concerned that the police might just, appeal this decision?
They did release a very brief statement this morning saying that they would release a longer statement once they'd had more time to read the judgment in detail. They have about 15 days, I think, to raise an appeal. And arguably, because this matter is in the public interest, it's an important matter, we must be mindful that perhaps the processes of justice must play out. So if they want to appeal, we will consider whether that would be in the interests of justice and see whether we would oppose or not.
Just talk us through the judgment.
Well, the justice this morning, he just read the order, which was basically that the decision made by SAPS to refuse to release the National Key Points List to SAHA and to the Right2Know Campaign was unlawful and unconstitutional, and gave SAPS 30 days to hand over the list to us. He also ordered SAPS to pay our costs and to pay the costs of the Mail and Guardian who were there as amicus brief. So there's quite a bill.
It's quite a bill.
Yeah.
Now, just take us back and remind us why it's so important for this list to be made public.
Well, this list is basically a list of either buildings or installations or areas that have been declared to be of sufficient national security in the national interest to be protected, declared as a national key point. That's a 1980 piece of legislation. It's not really that clear what relevance it has today and why it is that we have seen the current government using that 1980 piece of legislation to make more and more points across the country, national key points. It seems to us the way it's being used is to try and take those sites beyond public scrutiny and to limit the right to public protest at those sites. And so it was important for us to get this list so that we could see how the Minister of Police what criteria he was using.
And now that this judgment is in your favor, where will this list be?
Well, we will, all PIA requests, or requests made by the South African History Archive in terms of the Promotion of Access to Information Act, once they're released to us, we then archive at our public archive at Constitution Hill, and we digitize them and make them available online. So anybody can take a look at them. Obviously, we'll be working with the Right2Know campaign to actually analyze, what's in the records. What can we tell about how the government is using it and what implications this has for the amendment to this act that's been called for. So how we can inform that.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time this evening.
Great
pleasure. That was Kathleen Kennedy, South African History Archive Director.